Picture this. You wake up in a quiet house. No noise, no expectations, no one rushing you, no one judging you, just you, and the freedom to live exactly the way you want. Most people hear the phrase living alone as an older man and instantly think of sadness, loneliness, or decline. But what if that's one of the biggest lies society has ever told us? What if solitude isn't a prison, but a hidden key? A key to freedom, strength, health, and even happiness? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll realize that living alone after 60 or 70 might not just be a survival strategy. It could be the greatest chapter of your entire life. Freedom and independence. When men reach their later years, they often feel life slipping out of their control. Children are grown, routines become fixed, and sometimes relationships feel more like obligations than joy. But living alone flips that script. Imagine deciding what to eat without compromise. Imagine waking up at 10 a.m. or maybe 5 a.m. just because you feel like it. Imagine decorating your home the way you want, without worrying about someone else's opinion. This kind of independence is something many older men haven't felt since their 20s. And here's the surprising part. Psychologists say regaining control over small daily choices reduces anxiety, lowers blood pressure, and even adds years to your life. Living alone doesn't strip you of life. It gives life back to you. Rediscovery and hobbies. Do you remember the things you loved when you were younger? Maybe it was painting, fixing cars, reading history, or playing an instrument. For decades, responsibilities buried those passions under bills, careers, and family duties. But when you live alone, they rise back up. I once heard a story of a man in his 70s who lived alone and decided to learn the guitar for the very first time. Within 2 years, he was performing in small community gatherings. Another man started traveling to places he had only dreamed of as a child. Living alone gives you the space to rediscover your old self, and maybe even meet a new version of yourself you never knew existed. Health benefits. This one shocks most people. Living alone can actually make you healthier. Think about it. When you live alone, you can't rely on anyone else to keep you moving. You cook your own meals, which often means less junk food and more conscious eating. You handle your own chores, which keeps your body active. Even small actions like watering plants, cleaning, or walking to the store contribute to your daily fitness. In fact, studies show that older men who live independently are less likely to suffer from obesity and more likely to maintain mobility into their later years. And it's not just physical health, your brain benefits too. When you're the one making all the decisions, your mind stays sharp. You keep problem-solving, planning, and organizing, which are all forms of brain exercise, mental strength, and emotional growth. Here's where the mystery deepens. When you live alone, you face something most people run away from: silence. At first, that silence can feel heavy, even scary, but slowly, it transforms. Solitude builds mental armor. You become stronger emotionally because you learn that you don't need constant validation. You stop fearing being alone, and that fearlessness makes you powerful. Some of the wisest men in history, philosophers, writers, inventors, spent years in solitude. They understood what few dare to admit. Silence is a teacher. It forces you to confront your thoughts, your regrets, your dreams. And in that process, you grow into a version of yourself that's calmer, wiser, and far stronger than before. Time, love, and social freedom. Now let's talk about the gift most men don't expect: time. When you live alone, your schedule is yours. Want to travel? No one stops you. Want to sleep in or stay up late? No arguments. That kind of freedom is rare. And in older age, it feels like breathing fresh air after years underground. But here's the twist. Living alone doesn't mean living without connection. In fact, it often means you choose better connections. You spend time with friends you truly enjoy, not out of obligation. You can date if you want, or remain free if you don't. You can spend more time with grandchildren without family conflicts getting in the way. Living alone means you control your social world. That's not isolation. It's liberation. So let me leave you with this thought. Society tells older men that living alone is sad, that it's the beginning of decline. But what if it's the opposite? What if it's the beginning of something extraordinary? Solitude gives you freedom, rediscovery, health, mental strength, time, and the chance to finally live life on your own terms. Solitude gives you freedom, rediscovery, health, mental strength, time, and the chance to finally live life on your own terms. Living alone as an older man is not the end of your story. It's the chapter where you stop surviving and finally start living. So ask yourself this: are you afraid of living alone? Or are you afraid of discovering just how powerful you could become if you did?